Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Folklore. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently simply because something's messed up. Well, the way the game is designed, usually I am able to go to sleep at just about any point in the story. This time around it's unique, so I have to handle the night quest of this chapter in a different video. Same as with DLC, but with DLC it's a different reason because this chapter's DLC is really long. So I wasn't able to squeeze it into this video. So anyway, there isn't really too much interesting about this particular chapter. It's essentially a fetch quest. But it's meh. There's nothing particularly annoying or particularly special about it, really.
Except for the fact that you keep using copyrighted imagery and sounds all over the place. Jeez.
It's just the sound.
God.
Well, I can't help it that the bubbles are so bubbly.
But at least
Yes.
you have missile fish.
And he does give you like good hints as to where you're supposed to be going. Because the key monsters will be there where they are usually. When you're just doing the story of the chapter, you'll find the key monsters in the same locations. The electricity buttfish wasn't in the first location when you do the story, and this is kind of dick, especially since they put so many of them together with the thrusting assholes. But yeah, I was just looking if I have any sort of folk which is like kill this many, then I would just use them for this location. But doesn't work this way. Also, I found out a kind of an annoying thing. The healing, you remember in one of the chapters we were like, oh, I probably could just heal myself at the save point, and I didn't do that. It doesn't work with every mission, actually. Like, I know in the in this one or one of the DLC missions, I went back to the save point and I was only able to save, which is very. I guess they just do this depending on the chapter, on the type of mission. So, for example, with the DLC chapter where I had to do the Colosseum with Alan, it would just help me way too much to be able to save. So they just gave me the healing, and in the other missions, being able to heal would help me way too much. So they just gave me saving.
Alright then.
Yeah, so it depends on the chapter, really. It depends on the mission itself, it seems.
I'm just now noticing all the frickin' little noises the enemies make, especially the mermen.
Yeah, Ariel's little ugly brothers are annoying.
Yeah.
I hate them. They're the worst enemy.
As you should. This is
Because
why
they
you have
don't-
Piggly.
They don't let me use Piggly to full extent because they just interrupt me. You don't interrupt Piggly. Go, my minions. But yeah, it seems that this shield guy actually reduces a lot of like knockbacks and stuff like that, and maybe reduces the probability of status moves occurring, but don't take my word for it. What I mean is, I was able to stand right in the middle of a freaking lightning attack and wasn't phased by it. So yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, they were here. Yeah, the guys in the sand.
Beautiful.
Thankfully now I am able to deal with the with this little Labrador thing and completely miss. And now just slowly beat them all down, because you have to kill all of them in order to actually like unlock the next stage.
Nico, I know you love your slime, but it's not the time. Come on now.
Weirdly enough, the cloak from the Workadia actually works better for this stage, because there are quite a couple enemies that use slash and bond. Well, no, actually no. Either one of the cloaks that you get from previous chapters are much better than the cloak that you get in this chapter. Because like the cloak from Fairy Realm, it will prevent bond, which is what these guys use. It won't prevent charm, sadly. But the Workadia cloak will prevent slash, which is what the weird that thing uses. You know, the dancing seaweed thing. Now, to be fair, neither of those are particularly annoying enemies, and you don't meet them in like every single location, unlike those annoying little Labrador fish. Which I believe you eventually get something which prevents charm, but I mean, I think you eventually get a cloak which prevents charm, but yeah, I don't particularly remember any more enemies being quite as annoying as the Labrador dogs.
How does green dust remain to exist in the ocean?
Because we're actually in a bubble.
Are we? Are we truly?
Possibly. I mean, the water effect doesn't appear here where we walk.
True enough. It's very nice that the other enemies on this screen are ignoring you while you take this guy out.
I mean, they're hermit crabs. They like to hide.
Right. Oh, Ellen. If only you had the same instant regen as Keats.
Yeah, like, that's another part. It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so slow. And you do eventually get a cloak, which reduces the amount of time it takes for her to regen her MC. But you get that in the final chapter.
They make you work for it.
No, it's not like, if it was like a side quest thing that I can do in the meantime in one of the chapters, that would be perfectly fine, but there is no other way to get it before the end of the game.
Yeah.
and then it really actually, like, she actually works much better with that. Like, it's just enough. They give you just enough speed for her to be, well, maybe not quite as good as Keith is. I mean, he does have the advantage of just in general having fighting abilities that are much easier to manage because he's close range and Ellen is a ranged character.
Yeah.
And with the kind of camera that you have in this game, it's not particularly easy to do the whole ranged thing. I mean, the targeting actually makes it work in most situations, so it's not so bad. And here is actually where I was like, well, my HP is half, and there is a save point there. I'll just go back and refill it. I won't be as stupid as I was with Keith in that one thing where I was almost dead. But
nope.
Yeah, no, and then I was like, do I save and then it restore? I don't remember it working that way, but no, region.
You used it all up. Too bad.
Oh well. Classic Gorlax. Oh, you can go
Hey,
fuck
look
yourself.
who it is.
Thankfully, they just let you through
Fuck all that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There are, like, the only occasions where you actually have to kill all enemies, or rather, well, there are occasions where you have to absorb a certain type of enemy before you can proceed. Like I think I showed it once or twice where I accidentally killed a mini boss and then I had to re-enter and fight it again. But in all other occasions, you can just run through the whole place. Which isn't entirely a terrible idea, because leveling up doesn't help you as much. Like, it's not as vital as in a lot of other RPGs. Because it only affects as much, it only affects the amount of HP you have. I mean, if it increased the MC I get, that would be a whole different story. But as it stands, dying also isn't an entirely terrible thing, since you do actually get to keep everything you've done up until that point. As a whole, as I've said before, the leveling
just like
system
Fable.
the leveling system is just there, but it may have as well been thrown out, and nobody would actually, it wouldn't make any change. Instead,
They feasts on their corpse.
yeah. Instead, in my opinion, they could have done the Zelda route of just making it item-based, or like based on the overall amount of folks I have. Yeah, and we found the quest item. Now, I know that I don't look at this picture book right as I get it. I don't exactly remember if I cover it in the DLC chapter, but if I don't, then I will just cover it during the night quest. I'll just remember to pull it up.
At least your reward was a Chaos Emerald. I mean, you got that going for you.
Yeah, and you can actually do that. You can actually do that quest again, and get a whole bunch of different rewards the second time around.
Neat.
Yeah, as you see here, a whole bunch of other things. I don't think they're not as rare as the Yellowstone. But you know, if you have a folk and it's like, oh, it needs this things, and then you can just go there and do the quest again. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.